How's it going, everyone? We're live here at Pro Play Games with newly sponsored player, Adam Mejia, who just came off a regional top in Jacksonville. He was running Altmile Brave, and so how was your experience, man? How'd you do?
It was pretty lit, not gonna lie. Played 10 rounds. First 7 rounds were best of 1. Day 2 was best of 3. And my deck helped me out a bunch, I'm not even gonna lie. I think it was a surprise factor because we just got support and not a lot of people thought anything of the deck, so it went pretty well.
Alright, well, Royal Paladin is pretty popular with the meta right now, but let's get into your deck list as it's pretty different than everyone else's. So let's get started here.
Alright guys, so starter for Altmile Brave is this phenomenal guy, not a Discipline Electos. Counterblast 1, pop and soul, and then all Brave abilities are active until end of turn, which is very beneficial. And then even the act ability to rest and put plus 3k to any unit can create a more beneficial column to you on a big turn. So he's definitely...
And you can use that first skill on either player's battle phase, right?
Yeah, it's very good. It's good defensively, and you draw off it, so it's very nice. Getting into triggers, a lot of people are running 12 crit in Altmile Brave. I don't really agree with that. Staple 4 heals. Elaine is the Bay. She always comes in handy. Healed on 6 a couple of games. Against the teammate too, I had to heal on 6, and there she was, so beautiful. We go onto the crits. 3 of the trial deck crit, 2 of the new promo crit, doesn't really matter. 4 of the Altmile crit. So I was running 9 crit at regionals, and 3 of the Brave Stand trigger. Because you just place him down, he goes back to the deck, and you draw off it. Considering how many cards I draw, putting in triggers that let me draw is very nice, that go back into the deck, and we make sure that they're in there for my big turn when they're at 5 damage, and stand triggers are at their strongest point, not crits. Not crits.
Yeah, they can perfect guard away crits, they can't perfect guard away another attack.
Absolutely. Considering my columns are usually at least 26. So we're going into the grade 1s. For the Sonic Gal, you can opt to play less. I think that this card is absolutely phenomenal. It allows you to be reckless with your plays and then basically not really have to pay any cost for it. As long as you use the starter or you just get greedy with your skills, he lets you recover really quickly. And then 7k beater early game, he's really nice. A lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this, but I'm playing 3 PGs instead of 4. You just call it out with Hope Song Angel or Benon or Albion, and then it bounces back to your hand for a counterblast. It's pretty nice, actually. I think if you can search out perfect cards, it's not a necessity to run 4.
It's also easy because you can actually, ironically, even though the condition for this deck is 3 or less cards in hand, you build a lot of hand in this deck.
Yeah. If you play the deck properly, you should have at least 9 cards in hand at the end of every turn. 3 Stride Fodder, you can play 4. I'm always greedy, so I'm going to play 3. And then 2 Knight of Power Charge. People hate this card, but I think this card is infinitely plus on your Brave Lancer turns. You just bind your whole hand, you get to call 3 units. Those units will draw you more cards, and then you get your hand back and draw cards, so your hand size is about 12 or more. And you don't have to pay the actual cost for Brave Lancer because technically you don't have any cards in hand. So very nice tech. That's just for me though. If you don't like it, well, you're not me. Anyway.
If you don't like it, you're bad.
Grade 2s. The only reason why Power Charge is really viable at 2 is because we played Benon at 2 also. It's funny because I played this card at 2, but he always came to me in my opening hand. So ride a grade 2 called Benon. It's a 14k column, and I have a 14k column on my Vanguards. They're going to be at 2 damage by the end of my grade 2 turn somehow because I miraculously pulled the crit. Like every first draft check. It's very nice. 3 Hope Song Angel.
The best card in the deck.
Yeah, Hope Song Angel fuels everything. You ride it early game, or you call it, you create a 15k column, or if you already have the Sonic Gal in hand, you can just create another 9k unit to intercept with if you don't have guard in your hand, or you just attack them. It's very, very, very nice. And even late game on your Transcending turn, he comes in clutch too. 2 Knight of Encouragement Albion. He's nuts. The fact that they gave us another unit that can call out another attack without a boost is just absolutely phenomenal. And then the on-hit skill is just the icing on the cake for this card, but he's definitely very good. And you don't have to discard for him, you just Soul Blast. So it's very good. 3 Knight of Ambuscade Red on. This card is absolutely nuts. When I first read it, I thought it wasn't very good, but he's amazing. You just put down 3 of him. It's plus 9 to your front on top of your stride skills. So if you're on a transcending turn, it's plus 17 to your front row, which is basically unguardable. Play 4 Slayman. That's pretty standard. You're playing Brave. You know what this card does. Counterblast 1, discard a card on attack. And you call a unit. That unit gains plus 2k. And in Brave, he's a 12k attacker. Very good.
Just keep bouncing attacks.
Yeah. And then my last grade 2 at 1 is Knight of Cast. This card came in so clutch. I have to say that was the MVP of my entire tournament. You call him out on a transcending turn, and then you have the continuous skills of giving power to the front row, so that adds on to this unit's skills. So if you're giving plus 8 to the front, and you call this out with Slayman, that's plus 18 to a booster. So the Sonic Gal is now boosting for 35 to any unit you call. Yeah, it's pretty hard to deal with.
No perfect guard, no guard.
Yeah, or G guard, they just die. Grade 3s are pretty standard. 4 Knight of Heavenly Decree Altmile, the better version of Altmile. People might argue, but I just think it's very obvious. And then 2 Blue Sky Knight Altmile, just because of the Altmile name, literally no reason, no other reason. I opted to play 6 grade 3s so that I could play 15 grade 2s, so that I could just keep rewriting the grade 2 and control when the stride game starts. If the stride game starts when I want it to, I win the game every time. Every time. We go into strides. I played 2 Brave Lancer Dragon. Never went into it twice. I don't think it's a necessity to play it too, but it's very good against Link Joker. On attack, counterblast 1, call up to 3 Brave units, and then discard for the same amount that you call, but if you don't have cards in hand, you don't have to discard anything, which is why the Power Charge tech is so nice. 2 Transcending the Heavens Altmile, definitely a staple in the deck. A lot of people went down to 1. I think that's absolutely insane. This card is the key to the deck. This is your finishing play, and I just can't understand why people would cut this down. 4 Aerial Divine Knight Altmile, and of course my 1 SP. Pretty standard. It's kind of funny because in a lot of decks, this is the best stride for it. It's such a good card. Plus, you're to the front row in GBT, you can call a unit and give it 5k.
It's $40 for a reason.
I played 3 Blazing Sword Fetus. Very, very good card. Fixes Angel Feather matchups, fixes Link Joker matchups. You draw if you call a Brave unit, and you retire and still give power to your board. I opted to play this instead of Luminous Hope because Luminous Hope, you can perfect guard and basically end the turn. It's an axe skill to give your rear guards plus 1k for each face-up copy. And plus 1 really isn't that much. I'd much rather be able to call a unit for a discard, draw off it, and retire a rear guard and give plus 5 to 2 units. This card is much better in my opinion.
Yeah, that's an extra 10k guard.
Yeah. And if you're playing against Link Joker, a lot of people don't know this, but it says units, so you can give power to the Vanguard and the booster behind it, so it's an extra 10k guard. It's the same thing as Luminous Hope. Sea Breeze standard. 2 of the Altmile G guards, beautiful. 1 of the Fighters Collection G guard, and then 1 Dismal for Dimension Police, if I needed to block rear guards. And that's it for you guys. Bravery, royalty, beautiful life.
What do you mean? We're not even done. You gotta tell us what you played against.
Round 1 I played Mega Colony Machining, and with 6 grade 3s, it was a little scary, but I was kind of bricking, but that's the one deck I want to brick against, where I just draw all my grade 3s. I just had 3 grade 3s to rewrite, and my first try to kill them, so it was pretty nice. Round 2, it was pretty free. I was playing Gold Paladin. My first try to double crit him, it really wasn't skill. Round 3, I played Nubatama. This guy goes on to Sukamura Khan and gets me down to 3 cards in hand, but I had a G guard. So he swings at me for 26, and he just enabled my play because it just G guard, and he got me to Brave, so I just Soul Blasted 1 for a 41k card, and it was 3 to pass right there, and he didn't hit anything. So yeah, that was pretty nice. Round 4, I played Dimension Police, but he wasn't playing Die Hawk, and he went first, so I was like, okay, I guess I win now. Round 5, I played Sunflowers. Didn't know what it did. I bricked, but the dude just outplayed me, so I couldn't be upset. That was my first loss. Round 6, I played against a teammate, Luard Diablo. I rushed him to 5 really early game. He heals. He gets 2 heal triggers, goes back down to 3. And at that point, I thought I lost the game. But thankfully, my next strike play, I hit triple trigger. Not that he took any damage that turn. He went up to 5. That was it. But the triple trigger allowed me to guard his next attack for a 1 to pass. He doesn't hit the 1 to pass. And then he restands a Spectral. He swings. I say no guard because I'm at 4. He hits a crit. I heal on 6. And then I'm able to just G-guard the last attack. And then on my turn, I swing. He gives me 2 to pass. And I really had no choice but to put it on Van. And then I hit the crit heal. So that was just pretty lucky. And then round 7, I played against 12 stand no seal, which was pretty interesting because I could just always no guard the Vanguard at 4 damage and just basically win the game at that point. Now, day 2, we go into the mirror match, Brave. The dude heals on 6 both games, and then I just lost. So it was pretty annoying. But then round 9, I played Night Rose, and I just kept rewriting the 2. He had nothing to do. And then round 10, I played Luar Diablo. Games 1 and 2, I G assist. I lost game 1 pretty hard. Game 2, he lost because I hit 1 crit when he no-guarded my Van at 4 damage. And then game 3, I got all my grades and 3 triggers, but as long as I didn't have to G assist, I felt pretty good about it. And then his grade 2 ride is Skull Witch Nemain. That dude took 4 damage that turn and it was over.
Yeah, when you ride a 3K Vanguard and you got grade 1 swinging for 11 these days, that's just not happening.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. So they called out my number for top 8, and I played against a really good friend. Maybe not a really good friend, but he's a friend. A Prisms player. And it went down to the wire game 3. It came down to a trigger, and I didn't get it. But it was a really good game, so I couldn't be upset. So overall, I went 8-3.
All right, man. It was really good to see you top there. Hope we see a lot more from you in the future, and good job. PPG out.
Royalty.